Dear participants, welcome once again to the Breakout Room 1. My name is Natalia and I will be your facilitator today. First of all, I would like to say once again a few words about the format. So each company has 5 minutes for presentation, following by Q&A part, 4 minutes, and at the end of each time slot, 1 minute for the experts in the room to fill in evaluation form for respective company. The link to the evaluation form will be shared just in a minute in our chat. And now I would like to give the floor to our experts in the room for a short introductions. The first, I give the floor to Christian.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. My name is Christian. I'm Senior Investment Manager at Hightech Gründerfonds. We are a seed stage venture capital fund focusing on the German market, but we also invest in up to 10 companies per year that are based in Europe. And I'm glad to be here today and would love to see your pitches.
Thank you very much, Christian. Now, Lucas. Lucas?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. I'm in the car right now, you might see it. I work at Curiosity Venture Capital. We are a Dutch-based venture capital firm. We invest in artificial intelligence, business-to-business software companies based in the Nordics, Baltics, and the Benelux. And we mainly invest in seed stage companies.
Thank you, Lucas. Now I give the floor to Wilken.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, I just saw the wrong name of the fund is on the chart. So we're not Technical Ventures, we are CASP Capital Partners. We launched our new fund in April of this year. We invest up to anywhere sort of between 2 and 10 million euros per company across Europe. So basically from seed to sort of latest would be Series B. Focus areas are software-driven businesses and digital businesses, both in the B2B and B2C sort of arena. And I'm happy to be here today and meet a bunch of interesting companies. So the right name would be CASP Capital Partners.
Thank you very much, Wilken, and sorry about this mistake.
That's fine.
Now I give the floor to Dennis.
Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is Dennis. I'm Managing Director at Faraday Venture Partners. We are a pan-European venture capital firm that was initially started in Spain. We're now also active in the DACH region and in the Benelux. We usually invest into software and digital companies at the very early stage, around 300 to 500,000 with an initial ticket, and then can do follow-on investments as well. And I'm very happy to be here today.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Now, Olivier.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Olivier Laplace. I'm Investment Director at Swisspost Ventures. We do mostly Series A investments in Europe with a specific focus on DACH. We're the venture arm of Swisspost, the postal organization in Switzerland. So we're looking for topics where we can find a strategic fit with the Swisspost strategy. And topics for today around software solutions, big data are of strong interest to us. Looking forward to the exchanges.
Thank you. Now I invite Willy.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Willy Mannheim, so I'm managing partner with eCapital. eCapital is a deep tech investor situated in Germany. We are mainly focused on German-speaking area, but we are able to make investments all over Europe. Last investment we did was in Italy. We are stepping in the round A and can go to early stage. Between 1 and 7 million is our sweet spot for investments. And deep tech means software, hardware, blockchain, cybersecurity, and so on. And thank you for being here.
Thank you, Willy. Now I give the floor to Diana. Diana, are you?
Sorry, I wasn't mute.
Yes.
Didn't realize. Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Diana, Blockchain Valley Ventures. We are Swiss-based VC capital firm investing in emerging technologies, meaning blockchain, big data, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. We're looking into enterprise blockchain, enterprise software. Our sweet spot is post-seed, Series A. We are sector agnostic and geographically agnostic. I'm looking forward to this session today.
Thank you very much, Diana. And now Marek.
Hi, good morning all. My name is Marek Kotelnicki. I'm the managing partner of Vigo Ventures. We're a photonic early stage based investor, investing pan-Europeanly in deep tech companies, primarily focused on hardware, but also looking into software enablers for the photonic realm. So looking forward to hearing today's pitches. Thanks.
Thank you to all experts in the room for their introductions. Now I will invite our first company to the stage, and this is Khaled from Xenon.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Could you share your screen and let us know when you are ready? Meanwhile, I will share in the chat the link to the evaluation form.
Yeah, let me know if you see it.
Yes, we see it. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I am Khaled Abu Saleh. I am the CEO of Xenon. Xenon is developing a solution to help nursing homes and families to reduce hospitalization and death, of elderly people. We will enable customers to detect digitally early signs of infections and thus avoid contaminations. We are working to resolve a big problem in our society, which is the number of hospitalizations and death due to respiratory infections. They represent the third most common cause of death in the world and up to 4% of death per year. They have a huge economic burden on the medical system. In the US alone, it is about 100 billion every year. The most affected group age is people over 65 years old. We are developing the first digital solution to detect respiratory infections. Our solution is based on the collection of several measured parameters from body symptoms and from the environment. Our model is developed and validated with well-known institutions like Institut Pasteur in France. Our mission is to help people to live longer and healthier lives. Compared to our competitors, we offer an additional health service. We do not only measure air quality, but we combine body symptoms measurements with environmental measurements to determine an infection risk. Mainly, our competitors measure air quality, and they don't include any physiological symptoms in the risk calculation, and they don't link these symptoms to the indoor air quality. So our value propositions are detection of respiratory infection symptoms, detection of the airborne transmissibility of the infectious disease, early warnings of infected areas, and predictions of spread of an outbreak. Concerning our market, we focus on two segments: nursing homes, home care, and hospitals, which is the B2B segment, and the B2C segment concerns elders over 65 years old living alone at home. For the B2B segment, the market size is around 4 million residents in Europe and the US. And for the B2C segment, it's about 47 million residents in Europe and US. This gives us a target market size of around 52 million residents. Our business model focuses first on the B2B segment and is based on recurring service revenues from data analytics, around 85%, and from smart sensors sales, about 15%. As our solution is urgent for nursing homes, we will target this subsegment first. The annual revenue per resident for this subsegment is around 400 euro per year. Our customer acquisition strategy will focus first on the B2B market and will be based on 2 pillars. First pillar, develop the partnerships with major nursing home operators for pilot phases and first deployments. Second pillar, develop distribution by home healthcare providers. We will use health institutes and insurance companies as prescribers. The B2C segment will be addressed at a later stage when the first targeted segment is proved. Our roadmap from feasibility to commercial launch, first patent was filed and the second is in progress. The feasibility and concept studies were performed in collaboration with the CSCM and Institut Pasteur. We have already a letter of intent signed with a nursing home company in Switzerland and a contract signed with Swisscom to access big accounts. We have a collaboration with Institut Pasteur and we are discussing a collaboration with Orpea, the biggest nursing home group in Europe. In 2022, we plan to accelerate the development and industrialization of the solution. The pilot phases are planned for end of 2023 and the first sales beginning of 2024. We have an investment opportunity of 3 million. This fundraising will serve for several objectives: acceleration of the development and the industrialization of the solution, clinical evaluation, and first sales and marketing teams. Our management team is senior and experienced, backed by top scientific advisors. I already started and sold a technology company in the lab equipment field to a publicly listed industry leader. We have an agreement with Inselspital in Bern for the clinical evaluation and with Institut Pasteur. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Khaled, for your presentation. And now I give the floor to our experts for questions. You don't need to write them in the chat. Please speak. Who would like to start?
Maybe a question from my side. Hi, Khaled. Thanks very much for your presentation. Could you tell me a little bit more about the way you do the measurements and what type of data you gather and how do you analyze them, bringing the competitive edge of the information that you want to provide to your clients?
Yeah, so we measure data. We measure physiological symptoms, temperature, body temperature at a distance, and cough recording at distance. So in the living space, in the room space, we measure several parameters from the air and the environment of the room. So we have CO2, we have aerosol determination and aerosol sizes related to the what people are expelling from cough. We measure also temperature, humidity, and UV lights, and we have an evaluation of various survivals in the indoor space. So all these data are real time monitored and sent to the cloud, where an algorithm is running to determine a risk with a different value of these parameters.
But do you need to cough into your sensor, or
no? It is fixed in the room, okay. And it worked in the room space about 20 to 40 square meter.
Okay, thank you.
It is a distance measurement. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Welcome.
Just a brief question. Are there medical studies with regards to the efficacy of what you are doing, or how well proven is the technology?
Yeah, we are doing clinical validation on different parameters for the validation. So our purpose is not to make a medical device, because we are not targeting people health. So we are not saying this person is sick or infected. We are focusing on spaces. So we are not a medical device, but we do a clinical medical evaluation in hospitals. So we validate that we measure the temperature at distance correctly. We measure the cough correctly, and we measure the aerosol in affected area and non-affected area.
Maybe one follow-up question.
Yeah, one question from me, from Willy. What are the main obstacles you have to go into the market?
So, sorry, can you repeat, please?
What are the biggest hurdles you have with your go-to-market strategy?
Do you mean the main difficulties?
Main difficulties, exactly.
Okay. I would say yeah, the go-to-market is more to I don't see a lot of difficulties today to go to market for the B2B specifically. For the B2C is more difficult. Is about to reach the B2C people, the access, but the B2B there's no big difficulties to reach the market. We don't see a lot of difficulties, I would say.
Okay, thank you.
Quick question from my side. Where do you stand at the moment with the development?
So we are starting the first development beginning of January. So we did for the moment feasibility and concept studies with two major institutes. So we did the partnerships with the validation, clinical validation with the hospital. We have some partnerships with customers already for pilot phases and market fit validation. So we did this market product fit validation with customers, and we validated the concept with several infectious disease professors, and now we are starting the development.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Khaled, for your presentation, and to our experts for the questions. Now it's time to complete the evaluation form for this company. Please let me know if any issues with the form. And meanwhile, I will invite the second company. And
thank you.
Thank you very much. And Tomo from Vail.
Very good. Shall I share already?
Could you try full screen mode?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. When you're ready, let me know so I could start the timekeeping. And good luck.
Okay, I'm sure now I can start.
Okay.
So my name is Tuomo Pentikäinen. I'm CEO and one of the founders of Breakout, and for the next minutes, I'm talking about our new technology that changes completely how sensitive health data can be used and utilized. Data obviously is the enabler of the next big things in medicine and healthcare. However, there are some challenges. First of all, nobody has enough of data, but data must be gathered, pooled, shared, and reused from several sources. Sensitivity of the data makes this very, very complicated. There does exist a well-known theoretically superior way to solve the sensitivity problem, which is called anonymization. But currently existing anonymization techniques destroy data quality and do not support continuously streaming data and several other exciting data types. We at Breakout have reinvented anonymization in a way that preserves data quality and works with these complicated data types. We serve specifically pharma diagnostics companies as well as data-intensive health tech companies. This is our technology pipeline. First, we generate the anonymization model with the help of advanced deep tech AI. Then we deploy the model in cloud, on-prem if needed, or even on edge if needed. And as an output, we deliver high-quality anonymized or synthetic data. And on these parts, there are patent coverage on our technology. Our technology facilitates very significant improvements in the data quality and utility. And as far as computational resources are concerned, the gains can be even several orders of magnitude. As a business case example, I present how we collaborate with pharma companies. The big problem for them is that the return on investment of the very big R&D investment has collapsed during the previous 10 years. The investment is as big as 200 billion euros annually, and the return on investment used to be about 10%, but now it is around 2%. Some of the most exciting solutions to the problem are related to use, reuse, and sharing of data. Our multi-party anonymization solves several of these challenges, and we already have several global blue-chip customers in this area. Our business model is built on SaaS, on sale of data, and on offering data collaboration and monetization platforms. And here is a more detailed description of our business model. We have already growing revenue from global blue chips, and there is a healthy division between recurring and project revenue. As far as traction is concerned, Bayer is one of our main customers, and other customers and partners include companies like PerkinElmer, Roche, Red Cross, who's the biggest hospital in Finland and I think in Scandinavia, and Philips. We have the most experienced European team as far as anonymization of health data is concerned. And we are asking for 2.5 million euros. 400K is already secured, strong commitments. We have strong prior funding, specifically on R&D. There is clearly a strong market pull. And we are using the proceeds for commercial go-to-market, for building up delivery channels, and for further R&D. Why you should invest in Where.ai? There already are 10 health data unicorns. Some are in drug discovery or business intelligence, others in data platforms, in imaging, in precision medicine or prevention. The missing part of the puzzle is the company who would be facilitating the management and access of and to sensitive data. That is our ambition. We want to be that unicorn and that company. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tomo, for your presentation. Now it's time for questions. Who would like to start?
Yeah, perhaps first question. I do not really understand what is your USP. Why are you better than the others?
The biggest problem is access to big amounts of data and big amounts of data that are by the very nature sensitive. And we are offering much faster access to much broader data, and the quality of the resulting data is higher with our ways to do anonymization than with other competing methods. So we have a very novel technological approach how to do that. So as far as anonymization is concerned, we are technologically superior.
Okay, and is there a possibility to secure it through patents or whatever?
We have now we have a patent family application actually already very far in the PCT phase concerning the anonymization pipeline and specifically how we are defining and finding and optimizing so-called quasi-identifiers in the anonymization process, and then also how to facilitate the pipeline in a multi-source, multi-party setting where data is coming from several sources.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe I would do the next one. Tumo, thank you for your presentation. Could you elaborate a little more on the business model, maybe especially on the SaaS model you described quickly? It would be great to get some more information on that.
So what we are offering is specifically it's a technology stack, and it's deep tech stack to do the anonymization process. And what we already have as our customers is that they have their own technology architectures, and then they need the anonymization competence built as a part of that. So we are offering that, and there's a license for it, and then there are different volume-based components for the use of that. Then actually the higher level is then value-based pricing. So now we are doing the first implementations of the technology stack, where it is not only SaaS, which is great, of course, but even at the higher level of the value generation being the value of the data that we are putting a price tag on.
Thank you.
Thank you. There is time for one more question, if any. Okay.
Maybe
Yes.
if I may, I'm interested by the type of contract you have today with the various partners, the Rush and others. What exactly are you doing with them, and how much are they paying you today?
So for now, I need to be a bit careful so that I'm not revealing things that I do not want to reveal. So basically, the contract is that they are buying from us the anonymization service, and then we are an integrated part of the data management pipelines they are having. So in the currently existing contracts, that is a technology stack, technology enterprise SaaS that we are charging from them. And if I open a bit the problem with several of the big global diagnostics or pharma companies, and like Roche and Berger, for instance, the biggest problem is that they have already a massive access to the data. It's very harmonized because they are using the same thing in all of the countries in the world. They have even the technical access to the data because it's very often in their data platforms. But because of the regulation, GDPR or HIPAA or other reasons, they cannot use the data. They cannot build the data layer on top of the vet diagnostics, for instance. And that is what we are facilitating, because anonymization is the simplest and most acceptable way to actually make that kind of access to the data and sharing of the data possible for big companies like what you mentioned.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tomo, for your presentation, and to the experts for the questions. Now it's time to fill in the form for this company. And meanwhile, I will invite our next presenter. This is Hanadi from Sensei Networks. Could you share your screen? Perfect. So if you're ready, you can start. Good luck. We cannot hear you, Hanadi. You are not muted, but there is no sound.
Set. Can you hear me now?
Perfectly.
Okay, great. Thank you. So thank you for having me today. Sensei develops an AI-powered observability tool for the hybrid cloud. And by hybrid cloud, we mean on-premises data center and private or public cloud for enterprise setting or public setting. Basically, the easiest way to explain this is a reminder of what happened to Facebook about 3 weeks ago when the data center went down for 6 hours. So this is the problem that many companies in many industries have seen, is increased amount of downtimes. There's almost 50% of companies experiencing major outages that make it to the news, affecting revenues, reputation, and so on. And it's not unique to a certain industry, regional, or size of company. What Senseye does is help managers of these hybrid cloud environments improve uptime and reduce the frequency and duration of downtime using next generation AIOps, AI for IT operations. This is a screenshot of our solution offering instant observability to the hybrid cloud managers. And in a nutshell, what our solution does, it uses AI technology to automate and proactively help manage the hybrid cloud. First, we do what most other tools in the industry do, of course, which is detect anomalies. But for Senseye, this is the start of the journey, and it's not the end game, which is what most competitors do in this space. We use behavioral modeling using advanced machine learning technology to understand the behavior of the system in real time using matrices as the starting point versus logs, which is what is usually done in the industry. Our first differentiation is providing root cause immediately at the time of the detection. We are now at 85% accuracy. We're aiming to reach 99% accuracy of root cause. And this does not require human intervention or a decision point. This is automatically done in the system. And this is the first differentiation, because currently in the industry, this is a separate process with either a separate tool or manual intervention. Then we provide mitigation suggestion based on the root cause identified. And the other differentiation is activation when the industry is ready for that and the users are ready for activation technologies, thus automating the mitigation, leading to self-managed, self-healing hybrid cloud environments from the center to the edge. Our third differentiation is the prediction. Because we control this process from detection to root cause to mitigation, once we learn the sequence in the environment for enough time, we are able to provide prediction to the user before these things happen at any time on the sequence. If the trigger is close to the root cause or close to the anomaly itself, we can provide this heads up to the user of the manager of the data center. We have pre-trained algorithms that we train in our environment and using our beta test sites. So we come to the potential clients with the models ready to work from day one, which continue to learn at the client site. Competitive landscape, we are looking at the IT infrastructure. Sorry for the police sound, I cannot control that. We are looking at the IT infrastructure layer and the application layer. Most of the players in the industry with AI technology focus on applications, but rarely have visibility of the root causes sitting in the layer right below that, servers, virtual machines, and so on. So we focus on both providing this overall visibility. Status to date, Senseye is being tested. We're testing our models using data from 4 actual data centers in Israel and in Europe. There's more in the pipeline. Funding to date is in the amount of $3.8 million, which is typical for a deep tech company. We have 1 patent granted in the US. All of our patents are about machine learning. 1 submitted being protected in Europe and the US, and first sale is expected Q1 of 2021. AIOps space is supposed to grow exponentially in the next few years. We want to focus on US and EU geographies. Our main early adopters are innovative companies who need that. It would be in fintech, insurtech, e-commerce, and so on, but not the big players, the second-tier companies there. And we have a SaaS model with annual subscription based on number of nodes and size of data being used, plus services. We have a great team, very experienced, both on the board and on the management, and we're asking for $5 million investment, mainly for R&D and to build our sales organization, which is still not built in Senseye. And these are some of the numbers. And that's it, I think. I'm on time.
Yes, perfectly on time. Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to our coach, our expert, sorry.
Perhaps one question from me. You said that you have a pre-trained algorithm. What is he trained about? Is he trained that he finds anomalies, or what does he do?
Okay, so with the current MVP that we have, we simulate problems typically seen and difficult to recognize in these environments. For example, latency due to noisy neighbor, DDoS attack, overload, all kinds of simulations that we hear from the industry. And we train our model using these simulations, both on detection and root cause, plus initial mitigation suggestion, not activation yet. So we have the first half of the equation already trained.
Okay. And what is your view on false positive and false negative messages? Do you have experience there as well up to now?
Yes. In one of the clients we're working with, for example, we were able to go down from 72 possible alerts, which he would typically get in a system, to 3 actual anomalies, because these anomalies have root causes instead of being false alarms. So that's kind of the ratio we're seeing, reducing it from 70 something to 3 actual things he needs to be attentive to.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Hannadi, this is Diana. Congratulations on what you've built. Quick question around your patent. Could you share details on what exactly the patent is?
Okay, so the patent which we've been granted, and I can share the link later, is a patent where we used something typically used in image recognition, which is a grayscale image. In order for us to create a quick library of anomalies we can go and reference, we kind of put a stamp on these anomalies using grayscale image technology at 2-dimensional scale, whereas 1 dimension is the time and the other is a snapshot of what's the environment, the anomaly, all the things around it. So that's our first technology. It's grayscale image using for kind of tagging our anomalies. The second patent we're now protecting is the normalization we do on the data before it goes through a regression process for the root cause. This is public. It's being now protected in 5 European countries and in the US. So I can send links to both of these.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? We have a minute more. It seems everything is clear. Hannadi, thank you very much.
So I hope that's the reason.
Thank you. You can stop sharing your screen. Thank you very much. Okay, now I invite our 4th company. This is 3D and Christian.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Should see the screen.
Yes, I think it's fine.
Okay, then I'll start. So we are 3D, a Fraunhofer startup from Darmstadt in Germany, and I'm Christian, co-founder and CEO. With our technology, Instant 3D Hub, we change the way how our customers work with 3D data and how they develop applications. By massively simplifying the utilization of industrial 3D data, we allow them to leverage its full value and make it easily accessible. Our slogan is any data, any device, any size, instantly. So what's different about our technology? The industry is seeing an ever-growing demand for 3D data and applications through their product lifecycle, for example, as part of industrial digital transformation processes, where almost any application's user experience and efficiency can be improved with 3D functionalities, from straightforward visualization over computationally challenging DMU operations or live collaboration features to virtual and augmented reality. But there are challenges on this path that have grown dramatically over the last 25 years. Above all, the complexity and variation of 3D data has been exploding, from single models built millions of times to billions of individual configurations assembled once at a time. Also, document-based management of 3D data doesn't really fit into modern software landscapes anymore, where API-driven architectures require different ways to smoothly integrate with interactive 3D data. Finally, the need to make the data available all along the value chain is growing every day, resulting in thousands of use case specific applications. The conversion between the various formats here often comes with a huge loss in data quality with respect to structure, geometric details, metadata, and relations. Furthermore, the data management and security overheads, as well as the maintenance of these tools and pipelines, results in massive costs. Instance 3D Hub solves these issues by virtualizing the 3D data for generic visual computing, by harmonizing the integration with data backends and into application environments, by sustaining the full data quality and addressability for a dynamic linkage to business information, and by providing scalable visual computing to support various data and device configurations. You can imagine Instance 3D as the Google Maps for 3D data with a reference-based integration of the single truth directly from the PLM backends. It allows for an immediate interaction while sustaining the original quality of the data and making it available for prepackaged or fully customized applications. The video here shows the instantaneous visualization of a dataset of roughly 10 gigabytes based on 2,500 data links directly in the browser, while the data is still addressable down to the single cut edge. These use case examples here, animated repair guides in after sales, which, for example, Porsche uses to provide it to workers all around the world, software solutions to automate engineering tasks, collaborative sessions for data reviews in engineering with 3D markups and geometric comparison, AR maintenance integrated with IoT, or AR cloud solutions for arbitrary data from the PLM showcase the unique flexibility and the feature set of our technology. In the different areas we compete, but we can also interface with a wide range of software solutions. Standard PLM platforms and viewers, device freedom and mixed reality technology as delivered by game engines or open source frameworks, and finally specific large model viewers for arbitrarily large data sets. Our business model is centered around licensing Instance 3D Hub on a yearly subscription basis, currently switching to a token-based licensing model. With integration, consulting, or development projects, we support our customers' increasing number of applications. In our first year of business, we have already achieved considerable revenues. Our seed investment came last year from B2V, HTGF, and Fraunhofer, who are the fifth founder. We are currently finalizing the financial planning for next year and the timing of a Series A. We are expanding our markets outside automotive, for example, in BIM, engineering, or plant manufacturing. In the future, we are also planning to sell Instance 3D Hub as a pure SaaS solution and via cloud marketplaces. Here we are in touch with cloud technology providers like Azure or AWS, where Instance 3D Hub is a perfect fit, for example, as part of their digital twin service infrastructures. Our team consists of over 20 visual computing pioneers, with individual members bringing over 25 years of experience to the table. We have developed Instance 3D Hub for almost 10 years now at Fraunhofer IGD and prepared the founding for up to 4 years through internal and external programs. Over this period, we have established a number of strong relations with customers who are now licensing the software for up to 5 years already. We also got a first active partner network with complementary technology providers or project partners. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Christian. Now it's time for questions.
Yes, this is Wilken. Maybe one question with regards to the IP. Something we saw with Fraunhofer in the past was that they always tend to sort of keep certain IP rights and they don't completely transfer them into separate entities. How did you solve this issue?
We have a worldwide exclusive exploitation license, so a part of the IP is still owned by Fraunhofer, but the related revenue shares are decreasing over time, and there's a clear regulation on a certain point in the future that's fixed, at which point in time the IP will be transferred to based on a defined formula.
Okay.
Yeah, perhaps one question for me. What you are showing us is very complex. You are coping with hundreds of, let me say, different software tools and so on and so on. I assume it's what Wilken is stating as well. it's not only one technology. I think you need a lot of technologies, perhaps from Fraunhofer or others as well. And what is your concept about this? Are you paying licenses to all these let me say, institutions?
So actually, 80% of the technology is owned and developed by us. So we grew the team from 5 up to 15 people up until 2015 already, and then switched from the core functionality of visualization to extend all these additional features. There are external software components, for example, external cut loader plugins, which we run in the cloud in our transparent service infrastructure, or for example, model tracking functionalities to do this automated augmented reality solution, where we license external software SDKs. But for those, we have partnership contracts with the companies providing them.
What is your strongest USP in comparison to other, let me say, groups or companies who are following the same target as you?
Typically, the competition relies on converting the data, and so our concept is the complete opposite, that we just based on links to the data in the PLM, make it available by scaling the computation and distributing it between the cloud infrastructure and the clients. And we are the only end-to-end solution in that sense, that using our APIs just allows you to work with the data by having a virtualized representation in the cloud that's only transmitted to the clients wherever needed. So there's no upfront decision on the size of the data or the algorithms you want to apply to it, that you need to decide on your technology stack, but you can at every point in time again switch on which platform you want to build your application on and which computational functionalities you want to use.
Okay, yeah, great, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, thank you very much, Christian, for your presentation. So I kindly ask our experts to fill in the evaluation form for your company. And I invite now to the stage Seva from OptNet. Seva?
Yes. How's everyone doing? Let me just share my screen quickly.
Yes, please.
Yes.
If you're ready, you can start. Yeah, try to share it again.
Yeah.
Great.
Do you see the white slide, the OptNet with our big logo? Perfect, perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much for giving me the stage. My name is Seva Matsoyuk. I'm the Business Development Director and co-founder of OptNet. And our mission at OptNet is to make operators superhuman by empowering them with artificial intelligence. At OptNet, we are a fresh entrant into the AIOps industry. In the news recently, we've seen how big of an impact IT-related outages have on business continuity. And similarly to the one of the previous presentations today, I'd like to reference the Facebook outage, Fastly outage, and also the Akamai outage that has happened recently. And these are all primarily due to the increasing complexity of IT systems that has been going on over the years. And unfortunately, the users running these systems are struggling to keep up with the increasing network complexity. Inevitably, mistakes are made and costly outages occur. 1 day of downtime costs large enterprises over $7 million per day, and large network operators are expected to face 5 of such outages per year. And they spend 1.5% of their revenues rectifying such outages yearly. And for a company like Verizon, that's a number which is in the billions per year. And that's where we come in with our product Optos AI. By leveraging artificial intelligence, we empower network operators with intelligent data-driven insights so they have the full live picture of everything that's happening within their networks. We ingest all of the network telemetry, and here we're talking about logs, metrics, KPIs, which are available and deliver real-time actionable intelligence on brewing issues within the network. Our goal is to find the issues before they impact the the service, and customers start complaining. Optos AI helps customers by reducing the risk of downtime, preserving revenues, and lowers the costs of operation. Customers can benefit from a 70% reduction in the risk of outages thanks to early detection. Customers can expect a 10 times improvement in the time to repair of any incidents via rich, actionable insights. And operational efficiency is expected to improve by 60% through intelligent closed-loop automation. Finally, customers can also troubleshoot the new service rollouts to detect teething issues rapidly. And customers have told us that, thanks to our insights, they've been able to achieve 50% faster rollouts. We sell our software through a recurring monthly license fee, 50,000 euros per monitored domain. And unique against our competition, we offer our solution under an all-inclusive kind of package, which creates a very sticky solution. Our model is forecastable, scalable, and is over 3 times cheaper at scale than some of the large competitors in the market, such as Splunk. We have 3 key technological differentiators. Our patented AI approach treats every data point as a particle and a wave. And this is where we allude to the principles of quantum theory. This enables us to derive anomalous sequences of events rather than just anomalous events and determine causality between these events. This lets operators trace back impact to root causes far more efficiently than ever before. Secondly, every network is different and no one-size-fits-all solution will probably work. And that's why we've built a very modular, composable approach where we analyze the data based on the devices within the system. And that way we can support any customer IT landscape. And finally, our approach requires no training data and works from day one. The AI detects the anomalous activity, and we leave the conclusion making to the domain experts, whose expertise is retained by the platform post-importation of the anomaly clusters. Our beachhead is the telecom industry, as we have a strong network of executives that we know within the industry. The industry represents a yearly revenue opportunity of 225 million and is our focus for the next year. Our founding team consists of experienced telecom industry veterans, Taras and Jan, and is complemented by Mohan and myself. We have a long history of working together. Taras and Jan have spent over 10 years working together for Juniper Networks, and Mohan and myself are childhood friends. We have a strong team of advisors who have held positions such as CTOs of global telecoms, directors of startup institutions such as Techstars, and who have collectively over 100 million in exits. We are a profitable deep tech company, which has experienced solid growth since our inception in 2018. Revenues have been growing 500% year on year, and our revenue year to date currently stands at 1.5 million euros, and we have a very healthy pipeline for the next year. We are aiming to raise 2 million euros in equity financing for 18 months runway. We have our first key customers who are extremely satisfied with the product, proving we have a product market fit. We can continue to grow organically, but aim to raise funding to aggressively invest into outbound sales to entrench ourselves in a strong position in Europe for the quickly growing AIOps industry. Thank you for your attention, and I'd be very happy to address any questions you may have for us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Seva. Now I give the floor to our experts.
Thank you, Seva, first of all. Very smooth presentation. The question I'm asking is, every time we look at AI ops companies, and there are, of course, a number of players out there all sort of promising similar things. Mm-hmm. I mean, the white elephant in the room is, of course, always someone like Splunk. And from the outside, as an investor, it's extremely difficult to see because, I mean, partially it's always a black box, right? Yeah. How this differentiates, yourself from bigger players, and there's not just Splunk out there. So if you are sort of in sales with customers and you're a relatively small company compared to those sort of multi-million-dollar companies, and I know you've shown us your USP, but still, in a nutshell, I mean, what's your key argument here? Because everyone can claim to have sort of, better results and you need less training time and better sort of root cause analysis. And Senseye basically makes similar promises with a different sort of behavioral sort of modeling technique. And it's all a certain buzzword, but how do you sort of really cut through all of this and say, choose us, even though we are a much smaller company? And then if you have you never get fired for buying from IBM. And if someone buys from you as a big telco, and then they've got their sort of downtimes, they might just as well lose their job because they haven't they didn't buy from Splunk. How do you cope with that?
Yeah, very, very good. Good point. And it's no small challenge. So I think the first thing that I'd like to mention is that we've focused in on the telecom industry as a whole. I think one thing about Splunk that is they're primarily an enterprise grade solution, and for the telecom industry, their services end up being like exorbitantly expensive because they bill based off of like terabytes analyzed on a monthly basis. And for telecom companies, it ends up being, quite unaffordable. And if you actually speak to some of these telecom companies, they will all tell you they're actually trying to move away from Splunk if they have it in their systems. And that's where we differentiate ourselves in the first place, is that we offer, an all you can kind of eat inclusive license in terms of devices monitored, in terms of data ingested, it ends up being a lot better for their bank. And we can make a much bigger impact on their, profits on a yearly basis thanks to our software. That's kind of on a commercial basis. On a technical basis, we've built our solution to primarily monitor the network infrastructure layer, whereas Splunk kind of monitors a little bit higher up in the value chain. And so what that means effectively is, as we're monitoring as close as possible to the devices, we analyze the logs that are being produced by these devices, we can provide insights which are much effectively earlier in the system and can, on a technical basis, point towards that outage much earlier than what a system in Splunk would be able to do. And finally, I'd also like to mention, we have our first customers already. Those were quite hard to get, but now they can vouch for our solution, that it is actually much better suited towards the needs of a network operations center. And they're actually doing so right now for us. Whenever we approach a new telecom, we always invite them for a reference call with some of our existing customers, and they're always very glad to recommend us as the go-to best solution within the industry.
Thanks. That last, just very brief question. Does that also work when you move out of telco into other industries, which maybe have less of sort of massive sort of data loads?
Yeah, so that's something we have yet to find out. We have picked telecom as our beachhead, and we do, aim to be there, I think, at least for the next 2 years. It's something that we'll need to find out. By that time, we hope to have a much better, let's say, awareness around our company. And, we're working with companies like Gartner for that reason, to be able to, position ourselves as one of the go-to players in the AI ops industry. But, the way I see it, if we can provide the service, cheaper and better than, some of the big players like Splunk, I see no reason why we won't be able to replicate what we've done in the telecom industry in other domains.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Thank you, Wilken.
Yeah, but perhaps another short question. I liked your marketing slide, ROI over 500%, 70% reduction in risk. How can you prove this?
Well, we can prove it now that we have some of our first customers. We can refer to some of these case studies that we've done. We primarily currently, we have some pre and post statistics of, let's say, before our solution was in place and after our solution was placed. And also when we engage with customers, we actually ask them to, provide us some of your historical data where you may have had an outage, and we will actually kind of run a post-mortem simulation of how it would have gone with our solution, and prove to them that they would have had spotted the patient 0 instance, which actually culminated in their outage. And we would have provided that information, let's say 3 days before their existing systems actually pointed towards some serious IT issues within their stacks. So that's kind of how we demonstrate that towards our clients.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Seva, for your presentation. Now it's time to fill in the form. Sorry that I'm repeating it so often, just this is quite important to us and for the companies, of course. And now I invite to the stage Jean Bertrand from Finlight, if I pronounce it properly.
It's Jean Bernard, but JB works very well. And Finlight is nice to pronounce. Thank you very much.
Okay, great.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Very nice to meet you. I'm JB Tanker, the founder of Finlight, the first company that enables straight-through data, straight-through processing across all investments thanks to artificial intelligence. Indeed, very surprisingly, in the investment sector, whether it's in Europe or in Asia, 80% of the investment data that circulates, that people need, is in a very unstructured format, PDF, etc. This means they have to be reprocessed, but who really enjoy processing data endlessly over and over again in a very manual fashion? We know, and this problem is really acute because people have to handle with multiple format. As I say, 90% unstructured from everything they receive, cost to process, therefore cost a lot of money to process, and this leads to long decision cycle. You need to wait longer to have the data ready for you to invest, manage portfolio, supervise your assets as a pension fund, investment manager, or whoever, and also improve management cycle because you only have a bunch of junior processing data. They will be gone in a couple of hours max because they're just bored. And that's created truly and a growing operational mismatch between what this investment company, pension fund, insurance, asset managers, family offices needs to do to meet new paradigms, sorry, like ESG investing, low return environment, but also new regulations, Solvency II, Basel III, and also new assets such as unquoted and cryptocurrencies. Okay, so sorry, and this is what we're coming. Our technology retrieve all this information and merge it into one standardized universal format. Whether you're a pension fund, an insurance company, a family office, a private banks, all your investment are turned into one central position keeping, harmonized with all the information you need for the rest of your workflows, meaning positions, trades, transactions, look-through, and costs, just by reading those documents. And that's a 5 billion market today. Okay, if we look at what banks, investments, companies spend on IT, and part of which is really data related, and more precisely on what I would call the extract, transform, and load technology we're working on with AI, we're talking about a 5 billion market. And on that, to capture this opportunity, we rely on 3 complementary revenue streams. One is a basic data transformation, basically. X amount of money per document, we are free up time, but also because we process so much data together anonymously, we unlock intelligence, peer comparison, shared collective intelligence about things like look-through, machine learning around multiple of formats to handle, so that one learns, everybody benefits from it, and enriching because we integrate with lots of software that needs this data to come up clean into the system, and therefore we unlock a form of marketplace here where everybody finds everything in one place to manage and analyze all this data they need to do their job well. How do we compare? If we look at existing competitors like Canoe, specialized in private assets, Kensho, Bluefire House, we're actually the only one who does the 3 most important things European and Asian investors need today, which is multi-asset consolidation across all assets, including private equity, VC funnel processings, and I mean when you're an LP and this kind of asset classes, and also look through. Okay, we just concentrate on that with an enhanced intelligence through integrations and piece-based comparison. No one offers in one go. Our secrets here is that we truly the data universalizer. We've got collective learning and completely turnkey integration that makes it very easy for us to use. Route to market, direct sales, partnership, and inbound. Today, I'm lucky to do that thanks to a great team, including Virgil, Juliet, and Natasha, all fintech experts. We're now raising 1.5 million late seed equity with a 25% valuation, with the goal of achieving 50 million sales within 5 years with an 80% EBITDA margin and we spend this money on universal data recognition and direct sales predominantly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Oh yes, and that's what we want to scale, sorry. Data aggregation, scale value, and consolidate. Sorry, I forgot about that slide. It's 1 minute, so that rushed me through. And now I'm done, and I thank you very much, and I wish you a nice day.
Thank you, Jean Bernard. It's time for questions. Who would like to start?
Yeah, I think you said a lot of things which are obvious. For example, that 90% of all data are unstructured, and you stated that you are a data universalator. What I do not really understand is what are you doing and how you are doing from a technical point of view.
Okay. So all this information we pick up automatically onto our private network server in Switzerland. We read and structure information. So let's say you're a pension fund. You receive multiple information from a custodian, your GPs, etc. It's all centrally located there, and all the information with natural language processing and a combination of other technology like RCR, machine learning. You're going to read all this information, extract the content, and structure all that into one central position keeping, i.e., if it's easier for you to understand, a general ledger where you've got all your investments updated and centralized into one file that can feed automatically all your systems. Whether they come from a GP, a bank, or whoever, it's all picked up, harmonized, centralized, and in a universally, and in a one single dynamic format.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Makes sense. And do you have patents on this?
Yeah, we do.
JV, just a brief question for myself. I understand the problem, and mostly once you have harmonized sort of this unstructured data into sort of one combined view, do your clients usually then sort of import this into whatever portfolio management software they have, for example, Aladdin or whatever they might be using, or do I have to sort of think of Finlight as an actual sort of portfolio management application in addition to sort of the harmonization of the data part? So are you a feeder? Are you a feeder or a sort of an end-to-end system here?
No, we are feeder. We are feeder because trying to build a portfolio management software takes a lot of time and money to embrace. So plenty of people are redoing it. I must confess we tried on a few low-cost versions. So we have some features that can assimilate to that. But that's really for people who got nothing and wants nothing. Otherwise, we just view us as a feeder.
Okay, understood. Perfect. Yeah.
It's time for, yes, for one more question.
Oh, sorry.
If any other questions. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And again, please complete the form for this company. And I invite Olivier from Simple Cloud now.
Hello.
Hello.
Full screen?
Yes, could you try full screen mode, please?
Very good.
Now, perfect. Please go if you're ready.
Very fine. Hello, everyone. Remote and hybrid work is clearly here to stay. It was already obvious before the pandemic, but now it's an absolutely obvious statement. And that is the case even for complex needs, like the one in engineering, architecture, construction, higher education, of the world of media and entertainment at large. This is enabled by the cloud, but the cloud is actually a DIY box for experts, which is very complex for demanding projects because you need to integrate many layers like onboarding of people, software. You need to optimize many things such as latency, synchronizing tasks, and provide true seamless collaboration tools. And security is evidently at the core of everything. Additionally, redevelopment is needed whenever there is a new project or changes. And that's why automation and integration of these different layers are critical. At Simple Cloud, we offer complete digital workspaces which are uniquely end-user focused, which are automated, and the machines, virtual machines, are dynamically generated for seamless collaboration for the most distributed teams in the world. This works in pure cloud environment as well as in hybrid environment as an extension of your infrastructure. We've got a unique middleware that has been built for this automated integration and collaboration, leveraging IBM Cloud on a global basis and virtualizing NVIDIA GPUs. You can see here how, for example, a teacher with no IT support can create in a matter of minutes this entire classroom or PC lab with a relevant software, proprietary or commercial, selecting virtual machines with or without graphic cards, and allocating the different permissions to the end users, student or assistants. It can also schedule the different timings of a class or follow the sun strategies if it were in engineering. And just by clicking create is how long it takes for the environment to be available for everyone all around the world. As you've seen, we are uniquely end user focused, and team leader creates the entire virtual workspace with the infrastructure in 15 minutes, literally. Team members connect to workstation from any basic device, including Raspberry Pis, and they can work collaboratively with everyone from anywhere. This generates savings in time to market, in setup and running costs up to 40%, and that turns CapEx into OpEx, reducing risks of projects. We are on the desktop as a service market, which is the fastest growing segment of remote work, according to Gartner, as well as providing high performance computing services in the cloud. We've got a clear market focus, which is on the demanding tasks today in education, AECM, and media and entertainment at large, including movies and advertising and VFX. But also we offer this unique collaboration and security level whenever you're talking usage of SAP, for instance, research needs, as well as coding. And for that, only a small investment is needed. We are global by nature, present in nearly all continents already, and we leverage IBM Cloud anywhere in the world in just 10 days. We have already 40 customers in the different verticals we are on, and we are recognized by Gartner being in 6 different reports, including the latest hype cycles on cloud computing. And we actually just won last week the prize of Best Partner from IBM Cloud. We have a unique selling proposition, which is focused on our true end user benefits, which is enabled by automation and collaboration. We offer a flexible SaaS business model with additional automated services, and we are here to scale up fast. Our strategy is to develop the best platform, and our internal sales resources are leveraging a global reseller network, as well as our presence in the IBM Cloud Catalog and global system integrators. We are going to move with this strategy from the early adopter phase to the early majority phase in just 5 years, with clear objectives. And now is the time for us to accelerate our global deployment. We've got already 7 million that were raised in creating the solution, and now we are ready for expansion on a global basis. We've got a team of global experts, especially in virtualization and telecommunication, and we count on your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Olivier, for your presentation. And now it's time for questions.
Hey, Olivier, thank you for the pitch. Could you elaborate a little bit on what's a typical customer you're targeting?
Well, we are targeting customers which have needs for distributed teams. For instance, we have a very large European construction company that called us yesterday, and that is needing solutions for mobility, because now that they are back to work partially, they need actually an extension of their infrastructure into remote work. They are not going to move the towers, PC towers, that they are using for 3D modeling, for instance. So these are companies of that needs the onboarding of remote workers or actually third-party partners, and that enables in a highly secure way the fact of onboarding third-party contractors from wherever, India. We had just opened Chennai for a large UK animation company in order to enable them to migrate or to work together in a secure way. Every data is in a vault in IBM Cloud and under the control of the IP owner.
Thank you.
Perhaps one question, onboarding. If you are onboarding a new customer, what has the customer to do, or do you have to deliver services as well?
The system is fully automated. So we are here to help him if he has any question, but the onboarding is highly automated. I mean, we are not a software only, we provide the entire infrastructure that is behind it, and everything is automated. Gartner says that there are 2 companies in the world that do that way. It's WorkSpot running on Azure and us. And that's why we got this premium from IBM Cloud, and we are discussing with them at global level. We are in discussion with global system integrators like Capgemini, Wipro, IBM Consulting, evidently, because we can be a solution that fits into their offering for clients.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm coming myself from the media and entertainment world, 20 years at Warner Brothers, running studios in game development. And so I am seeing it from an end user perspective and left Warner for this because it solves problematics that existed before the pandemic and which are commonplace now.
Just a brief question with regards to the round. So how much are you raising in this round? Because you said you already raised around 7 million, if I understood this correctly.
Yes, we raised 7 million and I invested as well myself in it. And now it is for the global expansion. Well, it is for finishing a certain part of automation. And it's then for global expansion. The US is already our primary market with 2 movies from Warner Brothers, and we are ready to expand with them in other categories. And now we want to nurture the reseller ecosystem that we are building, and that's why we need the funding. We are finalists with the Investor Horizon, no, apologies, Europe Horizon, and as well as with the South Summit just recently.
And to answer the question, you're raising how much in this round?
Oh, apologies, 6
million, okay.
That's for mid-2022, and the current investors are ready to follow up within it.
And you're based in Spain, is that correct?
We are based in Spain. I am French. I'm coming from Lothringen, from Lorraine, and we've got people in the UK as well as in the US.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation, Olivier.
Thank you.
Now I will invite the next company as the time is running too fast now. And I kindly ask our experts to fill in the form for Simple Cloud. Amir, thank you very much for the quick reaction. If you're ready, if you're ready, please start and good luck.
Yeah, it's okay already to start because okay, just a second. Let me put my timer here. So I'll start. My name is Amir Zmora, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of FlexiWAN. And I will actually start with a question. And the question is, would you buy today a smartphone that the vendor decides for you what applications are going to be installed on it, and you have zero control of that? I assume the answer is probably no. And my question is, why is it that in networking and security, the vendors, the Ciscos of the world, as I call them, still dictate to the enterprises and the service providers the capabilities of the routers and the security elements? And I'm saying that this is changing, and I have proof for that. And the proof is actually coming from the CEO of Telefonica Germany, O2, in a testimonial about why they're using FlexiWAN. Let's hear him for a second.
After many years of cooperation with SMEs, we as Telefonica Germany know exactly what their needs are. Thus, we can react to them with custom-fit solutions. The launch of O2 Business Smart Network proves once again Telefonica's innovative strength. It underlines the value of working with young, agile companies from all over the world. FlexiWAN is an Israeli startup from the ecosystem of our corporate accelerator, Vira. Together with them, we have developed an SD-WAN service offering. This can optimally be adapted to our customer needs. Open APIs and architecture, as well as being open source, were key factors in our decision to select FlexiWAN for our O2 Business Smart Network service.
So we'll skip from here, and I'll say he's not alone. There are many other logos that you can see are in various stages, paying customers, POCs, tests, and so forth. And I will want to take one step back and I can tell you that Telefonica is already in production. Our work with them is actually with global, not specifically Germany, but the headquarters in Spain. So this is going global. And the incredible interest that we see is because all the enterprises have moved to the cloud. The pandemic, of course, has accelerated this. And this created incredible challenges in the areas of security and networking. And this is what SD-WAN, software-defined WAN, comes to solve. It stems from the move of enterprises to the cloud and the unification of security and networking. How do you enable good connectivity to cloud applications in a secured way and reliable way? The market is very big. It's going to be more than $10 billion in the coming 3 to 4 years. And for us as a startup, it's like an infinite market. And of course, you have large vendors there, those Ciscos of the world. And the way they tackle it is in exactly the same way they used to do it before. Huge software stack, many capabilities, very complex, and a big lock on it, which means you cannot change anything. But the reality is that the enterprises and the service providers, they never want a one-size-fits-all. It can be anything from just secured connections and central management all the way to the full-featured solution we saw before. Reality is always somewhere in between. But the way that these large vendors tackle it is they go for the large solution, focus on the large enterprises. And that's why we see a big gap in the market for the SMBs and the retails. And that's exactly what Telefonica is doing. They launched for this market. This is where FlexiWAN comes to play. We're a cybersecurity and networking company. We disrupt and democratize the SD-WAN and SASE, Secure Access Service Edge market, with what we call the 3 world firsts of FlexiWAN: first open source in the space, first application store, and we'll relate to that in the next slide, and the first SaaS business model. People come to our website, open an account, put in a credit card, and use as pay as you go. What we do technically is we slice SD-WAN to horizontal layers. The big box you saw before, we slice it with an application framework on top, so you can actually add applications like on your smartphone. And by this, with our APIs and applications, you can actually dynamically move along this line of enterprise requirements. We have tremendous market attention, 10 to 20 leads a day, 5 to 8 new accounts in our SaaS system, and more than 2,700 accounts on the SaaS system already. Team of 18. My partner and CTO worked for Cisco for many years. I also worked in communication, and I had a previous startup that was acquired by a company from the US. We raised so far only a bit more than $2.6 million. We're raising 2. We have a good amount of it already, either hard or soft commitments. Telefonica is going to join. I can elaborate a bit more afterwards. And I'm going to skip the exit strategy and happy to take questions.
Thank you very much, Amir, also for being perfectly on time.
Thank you.
And now I give the floor to our experts. Who would like to start?
Yeah, on one slide I saw you have a cooperation together with Seconet. Seconet is a cybersecurity company. They are in this area as well. What is the intention of you that you are working together with such kind of companies?
They are a customer. I'm not so comfortable to share the details. I'll be happy to share that on a more private discussion. But they are an actual. That's
okay,
one example.
They are using your technology.
What?
They are using your technology.
Yes, but I cannot really elaborate much
more.
No.
It's fine. It's fine. And what I assume you were in the Vira accelerator. What I do not really understand, what is the intention from Telefonica? Because for Telefonica, it doesn't matter if you are in, yes or no.
Okay, so actually our work with Vira is, as Vira says, it's the other way around, because usually what happens is that a company comes, they want to be accepted, and they go through all the process, and then maybe Telefonica launches a service. Here, it went the other way around. Telefonica Global started working with us, and because Germany wanted to launch a service based on this, they said, okay, join the accelerator, but were already working with Telefonica, okay? So it was completely the other way around, and they also invested. So they first of all invested, and then we got into the accelerator. So it's a bit of a strange way. They launched a service with us in Germany. It's already in production. It started this year, and there are incredible numbers expected for the coming year and onwards. And the launch is not going to remain only in Germany. Okay, it's going to be expanded to other countries. Again, happy to elaborate more on a personal discussion.
No, thank you.
But you can assume that it's a multi-million size of opportunity from the pretty short period of time from now. The challenge was 2 years to work on getting into production there. We have other very large customers. You saw some logos there. Some of them are actually paying customers getting into production now, or already in production.
Okay. And your software, is it 100% open source, or do you have components which have to be licensed?
Okay, the business model is that we host the management system in the cloud, and they pay to us based on the number of edge devices, meaning software routers, that are managed in the system per month or per year, depending on the plan they take. The code is open source except for some elements, but going forward, I would say that today I consider it kind of the base, the most important elements of this technology, but there are more things that we're doing. We already have some AI capabilities. We're going to do more machine learning and AI that we're going to add, self-healing of the networks that we already have to some extent, and we'll improve it. So some of the elements and the applications I showed will not be open source. The license that we have for the software is such that if you want to take it and use it without any change, you can do it. It's very hard to do that, by the way. But if you want to make any change, you need to contribute it back.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there is no more questions, I would like to thank you once again, Amir.
Thank you.
And kindly ask our coaches to complete the evaluation form for your company. And now I invite to the stage Pavel from Neuron Soundware. Pavel?
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome.
Just can I share my screen? Because I was kind of now I can. Looking great.
Now we see the presentation. You can start if you are ready.
Okay, let me just adjust my camera. Hello, everybody. I'm Pavel Konechny. I'm founder of Neurosoundware, and we use sound to detect broken machines. And it's our service. It's based on the combination of artificial intelligence and IoT devices. And we focus on three key challenges in the industry. The first one is well-known unplanned machine downtime, which caused a productivity loss. The second is high maintenance. This is mainly to provide avoidance to collateral damage. When some small components you could replace broke, so then you save a lot of money if there is a collateral damage. And we can also optimize the service intervals from time-based to the conditional-based maintenance. The last area when we apply our technology is digitalization of asset. It's not only about monitoring when a machine operates, but with our technology, we can improve its efficiency. For example, we shorten the cycle of grinding machines by 15%, which saves a lot of energy and boosts the productivity from that particular asset. So the whole idea started with a friend of mine sharing that he was driving his car. He could hear there is a strange noise coming from the engine, and he even stopped at the service. They didn't find anything on the onboard computer, so he continued driving. About 100 kilometers later, the cylinder broke apart, and it was 10,000 euro damage. And he was very lucky that it was 2 days before the warranty period ends. So we take the ability of humans recognize different sounds patterns, complex kind of behavior of machines, and combine it with the IoT, so we can deploy similar algorithms in software, digitalize that human intuition of these mechanical behaviors in machines, and we can use a variety of sensors, and of course it's running 24/7. So we provide to our customers end-to-end service. So it's start with our own edge device with piezo element sensors we mount to the machines. Then we collected a big, large database of all different type of sounds and mechanical failures, and this is what we train the algorithms upon. And we have a front-end layer with simple monitoring API, so users can notify when there is the right time to do some maintenance. So the hardware we called an edge device. It can have up to 12 sensors, built-in LTE, very simple to be deployed. And we have that front-end portal we call NGuard, which includes all the details about how to install on component level diagnostics and all setting up in 30 seconds. So the business model for us, it's activation fee and then follow-up recurring payments depending on how many machines or how many sensors we deploy. So it's kind of SaaS model, and the market, it's enormous. So we calculated by ourselves 65 billion euro. Yahoo just released a report also mentioning us as one of the pioneers in that precise equipment monitoring, which it's to be about $20 billion. Yeah, so it's a big change which is coming in the way how predictive maintenance is executed, and we are now one of the players with the right technology. So the first deployments, we have many customers mainly in Europe, but we have also some installations in Japan or Malaysia and US. So kind of testing the technology with the first customers. Some of them, like Maxion, we are now kind of validated, and now they got recommendations to scale up our monitoring to all their factories. So happy to kind of share more. You can also look at our website for more details. We got a team of 25 people located mainly in Prague in Czech Republic with one representation also in Germany and South Korea, and we are working with several partners who can help us to get the technology globally, especially in Asia, when we see quite a high demand in semiconductor business. So some of the opportunities we have in our pipeline, it's in these factories with like 3 million euros, 1,000 pumps, vacuum pumps to be monitored. So we see a kind of a really huge upsell coming from our technology. At this stage, we are looking into the investment to boost up our sales, to get larger horizon on scaling up the technology. So we got now coming equity round when our goal is to raise 4 million euros and provide some of the convertible loans we have already acquired, and kind of position ourselves into the C round for further growth, because there are really hundreds, thousands, millions of devices we could be monitoring all across the factories. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you very much, Pavel, for your presentation. Actually, your company is hardware, but we have enough experts in this session who will
hardware,
be interested.
It's not the essential element of our service. We have also some OEMs working with us when we assume they were like directly integrated with their product.
Thank you. Now it's time for questions.
Yeah, how long does onboarding need? Means if you go to a new engine, you have to catalogize and put all the data in a data room, that you know exactly if the noise is okay or if the noise is a failure, or that it will lead to a failure in the future. How you are coping with this kind of databases? Because I can imagine that the companies up to now don't have such noise databases.
Right. So we have 1 million recordings in our database, and we pre-train the model. And then we calibrate it accurately for every single machines we deploy. So we take data from the machine. It's like 2 days, for example, or 3 days of data of nominal behavior of machines. And then we automatically calibrate the AI, personalize it for that particular machine for every single sensor. So even if you have 2 machines the same type with a bit different operating modes, the AI, it's kind of personalized for each machine individually.
But that means that your analysis is only on a short hand. If something is breaking down, which can occur only every 2 years, you are not secured against such failures.
No, you are. So we pre-train the model to recognize 100 types of different failure modes. Yes, a part of the training process. So we cover all potential kind of damages may occur. And we are collecting these fingerprints of these failures as we go. So when we have an anomaly recorded, then we inform customers, they provide us what they fix. So, and that's we feed up back in the algorithms, and we keep these fingerprints of this audio. So we are building knowledge for each machine, what the issue was. So we can next time advise more accurately and also provide the information what the issue probably is.
Are you working together with assurance companies, because they should be very interested that customers of them are using your technology?
Yes, we have a couple of OEMs. The OEMs are quite slow, so they have their research plans. They need to dedicate people, but we have some like Siemens, for example, mobility. So customers, we are improving their products. One of them starting, it's like compressor manufacturer. So these are not just customers, but also some of them like using our service in different fields, but we're also working with some of them to improve their products in the future. So it's kind of add-on or built in directly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
It seems no questions. Everything was quite clear. Pavel, thank you very much for your presentation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now you can stop sharing your screen, and I give some time to our experts to fill in the form for your company, and also to finalize the form, as it was the last presentation for today. And meanwhile, I would like to share with you some additional information. So first of all, our team and I hope that this breakout session was interesting and useful for you. All companies will soon receive via email their evaluation results and video recording of their pitch. And now after, of course, the evaluation form, we would like also to ask you, to complete our feedback survey. I will share it just in a second in our chat. I hope you see it now. And also, I would like to remind you about one-to-one meetings option starting today at 2 p.m. CET time and continuing also on 26th of November all day long. You still can pre-book your one-to-one meetings via Tech2 community platform. Please check also the video instruction now shared also in the chat. And I would like to say big thank you to all of you for active participation today. And wishing you very nice afternoon and see you soon again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.